the southern entrance to Newport, one of the many villages that make up Sydney's northern beaches. In our village here, we have a dozen cafes, nearly 15 restaurants, which welcome both residents and visitors to our Newport village. Less than a decade ago, Pittwater Council, with much community input, drew up a master plan for the Newport village. And as we go through this village, you will see that it is not quite reaching early maturity, and it will be a wonderful asset for the future for our village life. Just down the road, a little over 2 kilometres, is Mona Vale, the town centre for the northern beaches. Many months ago, it was announced that a new B-line transport system would have its northern terminus at Mona Vale, and work has commenced on that. Only several weeks ago, the Newport community learnt that the B-line is to be extended north to Newport, which would in effect turn our village into the northern terminus for this new transportation. This is done without any consultation with the Newport community, not the Newport Residents Association, which has more than 100 years of history as a significant voice for the people of Newport, not the Chamber of Commerce, not the Surf Lifesaving Club, which is a very community-centric family organisation that's core to Newport and our village. Newport's one of only 2 villages on the northern beaches where the village shops, the beach and the main artery all come together. The other one is Collaroy, and if you drive through Collaroy any morning, Monday to Friday, after 8:30 a.m, you won't find any parking space in their beachside car park, with the occasional exception of a disabled space, and that's because it's full of commuter parking. And that's the kind of result that we fear can only happen in Newport if we are turned into the northern terminus. Now let's go into the village and look at some other aspects of what a B-line terminus is likely to do to our Newport village. Here we are at Bramley Lane, which is at the centre point of the Newport village on the eastern side. This is a critical narrow road to one of the options that has been put forward by the B-line project people. There is a car park immediately adjacent to Bramley Avenue, which runs to a set of lights at the northern perimeter of Newport village. One option is for the buses to turn right at that intersection and then have the terminus in the Bramley Lane car park. This will take away a lot of short-term parking for the business of the shopkeepers who line the Barrenjoey Road shopping strip. Also, the intersection that the bus will need to turn in is exactly where the 2 traffic lanes narrow to 1, and the bus will be turning at this point, which is already a cause of frustration and sometimes anger for regular motorists as they go through the Newport village. Also, the B-line people are no doubt unaware, because they haven't involved the community, that the northern end of this car park is the main north exit from Newport for those residents and their visitors who live on the eastern side of Barrenjoey Road. One of the other options is to use the current entry to the Surf car park. There's around 250 spaces in this car park, and Monday to Friday, roughly 1/3 of those are already taken up with commuter vehicle parking. To bring the bus in here is again just as the lanes converge to 1, with a small right turn, seagull turn, to get into the car park. This is also the end of the car park where the surf club is, and a children's playground, which right at the end of Pittwater Council, before it was forcibly amalgamated, they redesigned, extended and totally rebuilt this playground, not only for the children but also so it was suited to disabled people, and you will often see a minibus here with disabled people. So if we have a bus entrance here, it will be one, taking away parking adjacent to the club and to the playground, and two, forcing those people to walk through where buses come in and turn around to get to those facilities. A further option has been put forward as further up the car park at the northern end. This would bring the vehicles in and out in a reasonably tight circle in the current northern car park and a slight extension into the dunes reclaimed area north of it. This option also is likely to take away more of the Norfolk pines, which are symbolic of Newport in particular and the northern beaches in general. It also has the problems of traffic danger in that it is just down the hill from the last 90-degree bend from the Bilgola Bends, and the intersection where this entrance would have to be is also an important southbound and northbound exit onto Barrenjoey Road for residents and their visitors who live on the western side of Barrenjoey Road. So one has to ask, why are we looking at having the northern terminus moved to Newport? We asked this question at a recent meeting of some representatives of the Beeline project. They said it was not their recommendation, that they had been told to move a terminus point to Newport. And so we asked, why was that? And their answer was, we were supposed to be able to get 150 additional car parking spaces at Mona Vale, and we've only managed to achieve 74, so we've been told to go and find the other 76 spaces at Newport. So that's terrific. Not because it's going to be a benefit for the Newport community, but because it's going to solve the government and their bureaucrats a problem of parking spaces. Newport, the village of Newport, is to become the northern terminus. This can't possibly end in a good result. We know how we were misled on no forced council amalgamations. There may be a need for some forced amalgamations, to our local member saying,
I didn't become member for Pittwater in order to preside over the dismemberment of Pittwater Council,
where we're now part of the Northern Beaches. We asked the question, does a dedicated Beeline need to have a dedicated line for its whole length? The answer was, well, not necessarily at the moment, but one can only expect that will happen in the future, and then the Newport village will be totally destroyed because there would be nowhere for people to stop to pick up a coffee, to pick up a newspaper. There would be no parking right throughout Barrenjoey Road, Newport Village. This can only be a lose-lose solution. If you have an interest in Newport Village, please do everything you can, talk to everyone who matters in Parliament, in the bureaucracy, and tell them the logical point for the terminus is Mona Vale Town Centre. It is not Newport Village.
Newport Village, a beeline to disaster.